The conspiracy to cover up the Epstein files is absolutely historic. Donald Trump and his administration do not want the files released because obviously Trump is ass deep in them. And so are so many other of the deep state, powerful elites that Trump ran on about how he's going to drain the swamp. He is the fucking swamp. And this cover up is disgusting. We keep talking about, why did Jeffrey Epstein commit suicide? He has so many connections. He had dirt on so many people. Well, then you find out Trump's DOJ, they took care of that. Pop this up, Kylie. An email in the Epstein files. Jennifer, you're going to have to read it. It says the FBI came in and took the tapes of the time that he died.
Okay, it basically says on the first page, you guys, it's talking about hard drives. And then on the second page, it says blank, name redacted, advised that an FBI agent was the one who pulled out the DVR. Redacted name also advised that he knew that by replacing both hard drives, the system would be wiped, and that he had advised personnel at MCC of that.
So here's the thing. I believe Jeffrey Epstein did not commit suicide. Trump, of all people, was abundantly aware of the shit Epstein had on Trump and so many others. And I believe he was killed. They said it was suicide the day before it actually happened. And they go in and they take the videotapes. Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, I've thought this forever.
Yeah.
I think Mark Epstein has thought this forever. We interviewed one of the attorneys for the victims, Julie K. Brown. Nobody who's ever been involved in this has ever thought that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. So therefore, we have to draw the following conclusions. Number one, it's clear that somebody in Trump 1.0 DOJ knows what really happened here, and they've removed any evidence of that. Number two, it takes me to Biden's DOJ after the alleged suicide. Where was the investigation into this? I took a lot of heat on social media in a podcast I did with Mehdi Hassan from the K-Hive establishment Democratic group that I said, it just pisses me off that Biden DOJ didn't investigate this further. And people are like, well, it's because Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, she was under appeal, like there was an appeal going on. Well, this is a separate issue. Right. Investigating the alleged suicide under Trump 1.0 DOJ, and people in the Biden DOJ would know, oh, this motherfucker's been listed 38,000 times in it. He just did a violent insurrection. The Mitch McConnell's refusing to impeach him. Kevin McCarthy's gone to Mar-a-Lago and kissed the ring. His base are crazier than shithouse rats. They'll vote for him no matter what he does. We need to investigate this. We need to get in front of this. But oh God, no, the appearances. Oh right. God, no, we don't want to appear partisan. So it takes me to, why was this not investigated under Merrick Garland's DOJ? But then I remember, these are the same people that only went after low-level actors in January 6th. We never got to the people that funded it, one of which is Donald Trump. Another one, huge machinator in January 6th, Ginny Thomas, wife of Clarence Thomas. So what I see is all of this Epstein stuff, regardless of whose DOJ it is something that both administrations, both Democratic and Republican, wanted to protect. Mm-hmm. Because I think Jeffrey Epstein is a Mossad agent. I think he works with Russia in an ever-evolving way to help them compromise the United States president and have compromise over him. And I think so many people are in this up to their eyeballs surrounding Trump, and any Democrats that are involved in it, I think they need to be exposed as well. We need a new Dem party, new progressive Democratic Party that's not beholden to any of this stuff, that shines a light on corruption, exposes it, atones for it. These survivors need to see justice. Nobody protected them. Even the women in this group used their gender to further exploit these poor victims. And even Howard Lutnick and his wife took their children to a predator's island. That's how bad the moral rot is with these people.
No, I completely agree. And look at Biden's DOJ. He didn't prosecute Trump for January 6th. He didn't prosecute him for the documents. He didn't prosecute him for any of this stuff until it was too fucking late. It was too late because they sat on their hands while screaming, this is all, Trump is a threat to democracy. You had everything you needed to shit can him and he'd be in jail right now if we had an aggressive DOJ. Okay, moving on. After part of Congress has reviewed the unredacted version of the Epstein files, and there's a lot of shit coming out in it. But I think Representative Stansbury, she had the best clip after reviewing them in what she said.
The United States government is engaged in an active cover-up of the largest sex trafficking scandal and influence peddling scandal in the history of the United States, and Donald Trump is right at the center of it. And the person who is living to provide the evidence, who knows what is going on, is trying to invoke the Fifth to buy her clemency.
I mean, it's just spot on. This is corruption at the highest level. Donald Trump is in it up to his ass. And here's the thing, Ghislaine Maxwell said, I can give information that will exonerate Donald Trump, but only with a clemency. That to me seems baked in, like her attorneys have talked to DOJ, like it's coming.
Of course it's coming. Of course it's coming. The fix is in. It's always been in on all this shit. Of course it is 100% coming. She sent the warning shot with the birthday card to the Wall Street Journal. I will take you down unless you get me out of prison. Right after that, she gets moved to a cream puff prison where she has a puppy and she's doing yoga, and it's high times for a child rapist, a child sex trafficker. And I want to remind everybody, because it's always important to remind the MAGA Christians that want to preach to you about us being a Christian nation and, doing the will of God and Jesus and all this shit. Moses Mike Grinder Johnson, Pam Bondi are 100% on board with this woman getting a softer prison to live in. But what's next is she's going to get pardoned. The fix is in. The fix is 1000% in. And they are going to say she was able to exonerate him because they all live in this crazy ass bubble and they can't even look at it because they're all in it. Zuckerberg, Musk, Bannon, Lutnick, every single person surrounding Trump is in this thing. It's almost as if during the election, he said, listen, I have to get back in there because at some point somebody's going to put a non-asleep at the wheel attorney general there. Right. And they're going to find out that we offed him, and they're going to find out about how compromised he is with the government of Israel and how compromised he is with the Russians. And they're going to find out about how many people that claim moral superiority and financial superiority all over us mere plebes are child rapists. It's almost as if they had that conversation before Trump got elected. And it's like, okay, I'll spike the football on the Washington Post endorsement. Okay, yeah, I'll rig the algorithms. Okay, yeah, I'll give you 300 million. It's almost as if, listener, all of that was all planned and the fix has been in the whole time. And thank God for the Democrats, but most importantly, Thomas Massie.
Yeah.
And I give credit where credit is due, but I mean, he has looked at every single Republican, and he's a nut on a lot of issues that I disagree with. But on this issue, he has said, I stand with these victims. I'm a Republican, but I am not a Trumper first. I am an American first. And that's just something that I have to give credit to.
It's interesting because you would not think that sex trafficking and raping little girls would be such a hot button issue. If you do it, you're a criminal. You should be nowhere near power. You should be in jail. But people in that party defend him and protect him. It is so gross. And then something to your point about the fix has been in all along. I saw this and I just couldn't even believe my eyes. Pop this up. The FBI concluded Jeffrey Epstein wasn't running a sex trafficking ring for powerful men, files show. That is from the AP. So what you're telling me is that all of this happened. Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, that's all they talked about for years and years and years. And they got in there and they saw all the files and concluded, no, he wasn't running a sex trafficking ring. Like, are you kidding me? Everybody on planet Earth knows he ran a sex trafficking ring. And now other countries, because America is so compromised, because we have an agent for Russia or Mossad or somebody in the White House, because Trump does not work for the American people. They are opening investigations and they are going to have to bring out the truth, because this DOJ looks people straight in the face and says, Jeffrey Epstein wasn't running a sex trafficking ring.
Well, this DOJ basically does this. Hey, who do you want us to charge today?
Right.
Oh, okay. We'll charge James Comey, or okay, we'll charge Don Lemon. Okay, who do we pardon today? They paid you the $1 million? Perfect. Okay, great. And here's the problem that people, these country club Republicans that care solely, that are laser focused on their 401ks, when you obliterate the judiciary, when you obliterate the courts, the economy will soon follow. Because if you do not have a court system to take your contract in for business and everything's a pay for play, you turn into the failed state of Russia. And that's what Trump wants, because he knows that he's gotten $4 billion in his first term, but he knows that, like, Elon Musk is really, really rich. And he knows that Vladimir Putin is really, really rich. And scholar Tim Snyder is the one that explained this to me. And he knows that as rich as he is right now, the $4 billion, it's when you get up to the 0.00001%, it's kind of chump change. And so that's what these men do. They flex. You have Jeff Bezos, I've got a rocket. Elon Musk is like, well, I've got a rocket. And it's this dick measuring contest type thing. Well, because we know from Stormy Daniels that Donald Trump's penis is far from impressive.
He's never going to win a dick measure.
I would say basically unimpressive. Then he's like, okay, my bank account can fix me. And so he's got Witkoff, Kushner, and all of these people that are solely enriching their own families. And again, I just always default back to the void in messaging to middle Americans. And I think it's starting to pick up more now, but the void of a singular Democratic opposition messaging, where you have, right now we have the corporate Dems up against the progressive Dems. So within the Democratic resistance, it is disjointed. And that's the problem. And if we had a joined non-corporate, we are the party of the people, by the people, for the people, resistance messaging from the Democratic Party to say, we are no longer taking AIPAC money. We are no longer taking big oil. We are no longer taking any of this, because all of those people, they double dip. They give the Republicans money, but they give us money too. And so what we're going to do to atone for that as a party is we're going to tell the American people, you've been lied to, and we've been a part of that lie. And we are really sorry. But what we're doing now is we are going to make it so toxic for any candidate that takes PAC money, because we are going to message to you all, your wages are too low. Your healthcare is too shitty, if not non-existent. The way they treat human beings in this country, legal, not legal, documented, undocumented, is not who we are. You can either join a political party, the Republican Party, that goes to, checks notes, Hungary. That's where the Republican Party has been going for inspiration. The Democratic Party needs to say, we don't take marching orders or inspiration from some 2-bit dictatorship called Hungary in Eastern Europe. They should take it from us. We're Americans. We are an imperfect democracy. We are an imperfect republic, but we will continue time and time again to try to improve, and intone. And instead, this messaging, because you have two sects of the Democratic Party, the corporate Dems and then the progressive Dems. And so this messaging doesn't quite take hold. And if they could join forces, if we could get Hakeem and Chuckles to drop corporate interests and get on camera and say it, and if they can't do it, they need to step aside. But, I don't know. I don't understand why there hasn't been a revolt with the progressive caucus to unseat these two unfit leaders at this time. And I just want to say, for anybody going, God, don't beat up on Democrats. Listen, I can sit here every single day and get on here and talk about how moronic Republicans are. I could even go back before Trump and talk about George W. Bush and Ronald Reagan. And every single time a Republican president gets the keys to the economy, they tank it. And yet you still have all these white racists that go, well, I mean, Republicans are so good with business, which is nothing short of white supremacy, because they say only white men can handle business. Only white men can handle banking issues, which is proven to be bullshit because they can't handle it. They spend, and add more to the national deficit than any Democrat ever has. And so I hope, as we keep heading towards the midterms, that the Progressive Party explains how they are solely for the people and for democracy, and kick these corporate Dems aside until they can evolve and jump on board. All right, listener, we're going to have a national problem here. A lot of people have very successfully gotten on GLP-1s and look fabulous. It's really amazing and a miracle drug. However, coming off the medication is the real challenge. That's why I want to introduce you all to Prolon's 5-day fasting mimicking diet. It offers a drug-free way to keep the weight off while protecting muscle and supporting fat loss. In just 5 days, Prolon activates these same fat-burning and cellular rejuvenation benefits triggered by fasting, all without giving up real food, helping you maintain your hard-earned progress. Prolon is a plant-based nutrition program featuring soups, snacks, and beverages designed to nourish the body while keeping it in a fasting state, triggering that cellular rejuvenation and renewal. Developed over more than 2 decades at USC's Longevity Institute and backed by top U.S. medical centers. Listener, for a limited time, Prolon is offering IHIP News listeners 15% off site-wide plus a $40 bonus gift when you subscribe to their 5-day program. Just visit prolonlife.com/IHIP. That's PROLONLIFE.com/IHIP to claim your 15% discount and your bonus gift. prolonlife.com/IHIP.
Well, and we can't stay silent speaking out against our leadership, and we can't just take everything they give us, or that makes us MAGA. And we're better than
that. It's like you're in a cult, right. If you're in a political movement and you can't call out and critique what's going on, it's the healthiest form of democracy too.
Agreed.
The healthiest form is to have a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different ideas. And I could be wrong about stuff, and I'm okay with that. But in this moment, it's very clear to me that a lot of people in the Democratic Party are compromised by the same corporations that are playing patty cake with fascism, which makes the Chuckles Schumers and the Hakeem Jeffries fascist collaborators. When you take money from the same people that want this really messed up result, and it silences you, and then you start funding ICE to the tune of $30 billion more, $30 billion more after they killed 2 people. And hey, listen, that's just the 2 white people.
Right.
They killed a lot more than that.
Absolutely. And I just want to end on this cover-up is so deep, and this administration is so corrupt. You always hear it's run like a mob. Donald Trump runs the U.S. government like the mob. Okay, I know it's crazy to say this, but I was a little bit surprised by this. Play Thomas Massey when asked about how Kash Patel and his FBI have handled him speaking out.
Also, I'm going to say this here on camera because it's important. One of Kash Patel's staff threatened my staff with a criminal investigation if we didn't straighten up and play ball.
Here's the thing. They're doing that. You've seen Donald Trump on my social say, prosecute Comey, prosecute Letitia James. But they feel so entitled and so emboldened that Kash Patel's staff is calling up his staff. We're going to investigate you if you don't do what we want you to do, which is shut the fuck up about Epstein. They're not even trying to hide it. That
doesn't surprise me the least bit. I am 0% surprised. The thing that shocks me about that most is that the criminal investigation into Thomas Massey, into Robert Garcia, and into Ro Khanna hasn't happened yet. Because that one thing this fascist regime knows how to do is move quickly and break things at a rate that we've never seen before. The whole lie we've been told by Democrats, we have to govern incrementally. We can't move quickly. Well, Trump just disproved that. So I'm shocked that they haven't started the investigation, because Trump has a real bee in his bonnet for Massey. And this just doesn't surprise me at all. This is a corrupt FBI. This is a corrupt DOJ. This is a president of the United States. And I just have to remind everybody, he is a convicted felon. He has 34 felony convictions. He is an adjudicated rapist. So this just, it does not surprise me in the least bit. The only shock I have here is that Kash Patel hasn't put his money where his mouth is, but he's probably too busy flying around on private planes with his girlfriend to actually go to the office and work.
I can't argue with that point. All right, we're going to stay on this story. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel.